Well done.
3 matches. TV pair average 218. Bowker, 37 years old. And he opens with a strike on lane 39. His first championship round appearance of this year and the 5th of his career. Ferraro today, 14 strikes, 8 spares. And that's the way it starts for Ferraro. He has had no open frames, and his games 235 and 235. That's his number this afternoon.
Definitely in a groove, Jay. He's got it going. Roger Bowker, during his practice balls before we came back to the championship match, was struggling on lane 40. And I'm surprised that he has chosen, because he has that option, he has chosen to finish on lane 40, which means that's where his 10th frame would be. Here we are in the 2nd frame. We'll get a look at it, see if he's made the adjustment. He never hit the pocket in practice on this thing. Oh, that looks pretty easy. Nothing to it.
Not a problem when he put the pressure on this fella.
And here's a good look at the style. He holds the ball. It takes a lot of strength to bowl this way. He holds the ball with only the one hand. Perfect position in the backswing, good knee bend, and he gets around the side of the ball, whereas the other players lift through the center to get a high roll on the ball. Roger likes to spin the ball a little bit, so you'll see his wrist will rotate around the side of the ball before he lifts. Right at the bottom, the rotation, and then the lift.
Bowker opens with 3 strikes. Ferraro trying to match him. David, 5'7", 155 pounds. Likes to off and do some jogging. And the 10th.
What David's known for is his ability to keep the ball in the pocket area. He's a remarkably good spare shooter, as most of the top players are, but he also keeps the ball in play on almost any lane condition. He can find a way to score. That's why he's so consistent throughout the year. He's almost always in the money, any tournament he enters, and he'll make some TV shows. He's not a dominant player, but he's the kind of guy that's a scrapper. He's always there.
Ferraro down by 11. His best year was 88 when he won here, and he made 6 telecasts, won twice, won over $150,000. Another 10.
What he cannot do, and I'm sure he won't, being an excellent spare shooter, is get lazy on one of these spares, because Roger Bowker will run away from him. He'll never catch up again.
I asked Bowker, 37 years of age and 5'8" and 170, what his hobbies were. He said, I don't have any hobbies, but I happen to know he's a big Bud Light fan. He averaged 250 on the TV pair, a high game of 279 this week. Bowker, brilliant here in the early going. 15 years a PVA member, and as we mentioned, he comes out once in a while and just picks up a little cash and goes home.
Picks the pockets of the touring players and goes home, right? This guy can bowl. Don't let that part-time fool you. You can see what he's done already. The first 4 strikes here, and remember, on this pair, $5,000 from Anheuser-Busch for a 300 game, $10,000 from the PVA for 5 in a row.
Roger bowls in a lot of regionals. His first regional title came way back in '77 in St. Louis. Ferraro finds himself down 32. And Ferraro has had all 5 balls in the pocket. Started with a double, then
the 210 pins and comes back with a strike. Here's another look at that last shot. Watch the swing, create the leverage from the inside. The big loft that we talked about. The reason for the loft is to delay the roll, get the ball down the lane before it grips the lane. Now, if he had carried those 210 pins in the third and fourth, we'd have a tie match instead of being 32 pins behind. But it's not over. A long way to go yet.
Oh.
And the 8-pin is there, Bowker.
Unreal. Solid 8-pin. Ouch.
And that's when you feel really snake bit. When you know you've made 6 great shots and only got the one double. The ball just, when this happens, generally the ball just hits too hard. Watch the ball go through the pins, take the 5 straight back off the 9. See that? I mean, off the 8, excuse me. The ball has to deflect a little bit. And that ball didn't deflect at all. It was just rolling too hard.
That I am David Ozio to get to this match.
Gotta hurry.
The 7-pin won't go.
Got stopped. 7-pin.
Talked about the single season money record, and we've updated it. Mike Albee in '89, nearly $300,000. Voss in '88, and now Ozio. And Ozio actually is number 3 in the single season money records over the years. As that Cambridge tournament coming up, Valleys next week. Here's our prize money, $27,000 first prize, $14,000 for second. Westlake won 6, Williams 7, and Ozio 9. Roger Bowker trying to win his 3rd PBA national title. He won in the fall tour last year at Rochester. High with that.
Ooh.
He's having a little trouble with the approaches and the strike ball on lane 40 when he left the corner pin in the 6th frame. He seemed to have lost his balance and set the ball down early. And here's another look at that last shot. Now watch his approach where he seems to catch and then slip. His heel seems to catch and then he slides again. You can see that little hesitation in the slide there, and he's not happy with how he's getting to the foul line. And that is trouble.
It is trouble. He's open here in the 7th.
How quickly the fortunes can change in a one-game match. Here's another look at that last shot. An unusual thing for a player to hook the ball into that spare. Normally they'll throw hard and straight and eliminate the chance to chop it like that.
And Ferraro.
Ferraro with a big opportunity to get right back into the match, only being down 18 going into that shot. Lets the ball get away from him, and he has a difficult spare here.
2-5-8.
Wants the ball to cover that 8 pin. Like that.
Spare number 7.
We get an opportunity, this being our last event on the fall tour, thanks to National Tournament Director Johnny Campos, PR Director Kevin Shippey, Bobby Dinkins, the press director, and tour broadcast director Dave Ward, our lane maintenance supervisors Steve Cross, Gary Mogard, assistant tournament director Chuck Pierce, statistician Butch Soper, and the folks in the press room, Joe Ringener, and all the gang, and of course to our PBA TV coordinator, Mr. Charles Chuck Pisano, who's with us each week. And thanks to this wonderful crew, most of these guys from St. Louis, talented group of cameramen and technicians, and the folks in the truck. As always, it's been great fun. PBA Fall Tour. Bowker leads the 10-pin.
And it's getting tighter here all the time. Dave Ferraro with the strike in the 8th, the possibility of a 235 game.
Would he throw 235 3 times in a row?
It's very possible, but it may not be enough this game. Bowker going at a 226 pace, possibility of 246. He should strike out. Spare here. Again, it comes down to Bowker had the option of which lane to start on. He chose to start on lane 39, which means he finishes his match on lane 40. Be careful.
Boy, he's really fighting it, and that one slipped away from him, Earl. You could see him look down at his hand.
Back up.
I think he's still struggling with the approaches. It seems that I don't think it's the approach. I think it's possibly his shoe. There's something on his shoe that he's losing his balance. Here's a look at that. Now watch him. His foot goes out from under him, kind of. You can see he's off balance.
Bowker opened with 5 strikes, and then he has struggled drastically here.
We have a possibility of a tie at this point.
Sure do.
Gotta hurry.
Whoops, I just saved the 7th.
Bowker has
still in the lead, Jay.
Yeah, but he's seen that big lead go bye-bye, hasn't he?
He has. He has a 10-pin lead. He needs to cover this spare. The pressure's still on Ferraro to strike. And even as well as Dave Ferraro is bowling, the corner pins can stand up at any time, so he can't get careless here.
About the spade.
Dave Ferraro has his destiny in his own hands. If he should strike in the 9th and 2 in the 10th, he would definitely be the winner. It would be all over. Big turnaround in the first 5 frames.
When Ferraro won here in '88, he got some breaks as Walter Ray Williams missed 2 10-pins in that match. Ferraro needs 2 strikes and 1 pin to win.
Oh,
solid 10.
Well, we're coming down to where it could be a tie. I keep saying this, but folks, Dave Ferraro with a spare, 214. Roger Bowker going at a 215 pace. Every ball important. None more so than this right now. Ferraro needs this strike. Make Ferraro strike to win the tournament.
A score of 213 for Dave Ferraro.
Bowker needs non-smash.
Bowker asking for a re-rack on lane 40. And Bowker needs 19 pin fill here. Bowker leading by 2, and that was a little high.
We're looking at a tie, a spare strike to tie. If there should be a tie, we would have a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Maximum score of 60. This spare and a strike to tie.
Well, sit back and do what Dave Ferraro's going to try to do. Just watch and see what happens.
So what's better than celebrating the holidays in Philly?
Absolutely nothing. That's why this week, GMA's in Philly.
We're here celebrating the holidays, even in Love Park as couples get married.
It's Christmas time, Philly style, on GMA on 6 ABC.
And it wouldn't go. 2-12. Dave Ferraro, a 1-pin win. The first 2-time winner in the history of the Touring Players Championship. For Ferraro, his 6th career PBA national title.
And here's a look at that last shot. Just a little high in the pocket. Trips the 4 out. Not quite enough to get the 9. Disastrous break for Roger Bowker. Great for Ferraro. And you see his reaction.
Thank you very much, he's saying. Wow. Ferraro is the winner. And a very happy